They need the new girl to humiliate her. But her next move made everyone regret ever touching her. It all started on a cold Monday morning, when a new girl named Maya walked into Lincoln High wearing an oversized hoodie, torn sneakers, and eyes that carried stories no one dared to ask about. The hallways went silent for a split second, long enough for the whispers to start, the laughter to rise, and the cruelty of teenagers to take shape. No one knew who she was, where she came from, or why her right wrist carried an odd scar shaped like a half-moon. But by the end of the week, everyone would know exactly who Maya was, and they'd wish they had never touched her. Maya kept her head down as she walked through the crowded halls. The smell of perfume, sweat, and freshly polished floors filled the air. She could hear the murmurs behind her. "Who's the charity case? Must have gotten expelled somewhere else. Look at those shoes." But Maya didn't flinch. She just walked straight to her locker, quietly placing her worn-out backpack inside. Every movement was precise, calm, deliberate, like someone who'd been trained to control their emotions. At lunch, she sat alone at the far end of the cafeteria, quietly eating an apple and a sandwich she'd packed herself. She could feel eyes on her, but she ignored them. Across the room, Chloe, the self-proclaimed queen of the school, watched her with a smirk. Chloe wasn't used to being ignored. She thrived on attention, especially when it came from those weaker than her. "New girl doesn't talk much," Chloe muttered to her friend Brittany, flipping her perfect blonde hair. "Maybe she'll loosen up if someone teaches her how this place works." Brittany laughed. "Or maybe she'll cry. That'd be fun to watch." By the end of the week, Chloe had her plan. The next day in gym class, when Coach Lewis stepped out to take a call, Chloe made her move. She gathered her friends, cornering Maya near the locker area. "Hey, new girl," Chloe called, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "You think you're better than us, walking around like you own the place?" Maya didn't respond. She just stood there, calm as ever, her dark eyes locked on Chloe's. That silence made Chloe furious. Before Maya could react, one of Chloe's friends, Brittany, stepped forward and kneed her in the stomach, hard. Maya stumbled but didn't fall. The room went silent. Everyone watched, expecting her to break down, cry, or scream. But she didn't. She just slowly straightened up, breathing deeply, eyes cold and unshaken. Chloe smirked. "What, no tears? Guess you're too tough for that." Maya's lips curved into the faintest smile. "You shouldn't have done that." The words were soft, but something about the way she said them sent a shiver through everyone watching. Before anyone could blink, Maya moved. In one fluid motion, she blocked Brittany's next swing, twisted her arm behind her back, and pushed her gently but firmly to the ground. Without causing real harm, the entire gym froze. Chloe's confident smirk disappeared. "What are you, some kind of fighter?" she spat, trying to hide her shock. Maya just looked at her, expression unreadable. "Something like that." Coach Lewis returned just as the chaos settled. No one spoke up about what had happened. Not even the bullies. Something about Maya's calm power kept them quiet. From that day, whispers about her began spreading. "She's scary. She knows martial arts. She's probably kicked people out cold." But no one knew the truth. No one knew what that scar on her wrist meant, or what she had left behind. Weeks passed and Maya stayed quiet, keeping to herself. The bullies avoided her now, but whispers still followed. Only one person seemed to treat her normally. Ethan, a quiet, kind boy from her math class who often stayed behind to help her with notes. One afternoon after class, Ethan found her sitting under a tree behind the school, sketching in a worn notebook. "That's amazing," he said softly, looking at her drawing, a detailed portrait of a man in a military uniform. Maya smiled faintly. "That's my dad." Ethan nodded. "He's a soldier." She hesitated, then whispered, "He was." Silence hung between them. Ethan didn't push. He could tell the story behind that single word carried too much pain. Finally, Maya said, "He was in the special forces. He trained me when I was little. Self-defense, awareness, control. He always said, strength is not about hurting people. It's about protecting yourself when no one else will." Her voice cracked for the first time. "He died saving a group of civilians during a mission overseas. I promised I'd live with the strength he gave me, not to fight others, but to never let anyone break me again." Ethan looked at her, speechless. For the first time, he understood why she never reacted to the bullies' taunts, why she moved like someone who'd seen far worse than high school cruelty. But her peace didn't last long. One afternoon during basketball practice, Chloe and her gang decided to test her again. They wanted revenge. As Maya walked past the gym, they locked the doors behind her and shoved her toward the court. "Think you're tough?" Chloe sneered. "Let's see if you can handle 5 of us this time." Maya sighed, not out of fear, but disappointment. "I told you once, you shouldn't do this." The girls charged. It happened fast. Maya dodged, blocked, deflected, never attacking, only defending. Every movement was graceful, almost like a dance. Within moments, Chloe and her friends were on the ground, not injured, but defeated in every way that mattered. As Maya stood over them, she said quietly, "You think power means making someone smaller, but real power is walking away when you could destroy someone and choosing not to." The gym door opened. Coach Lewis stood there, shocked at the scene. The truth came out. The bullies were suspended, and the story spread across the school. But this time, the whispers were different. "Maya's not scary. She's brave. She's amazing." By graduation, Maya wasn't the quiet, lonely new girl anymore. She was a symbol of strength, control, and quiet dignity. As she stood at the school assembly, she gave a short speech that silenced the entire gym. "You don't have to fight to be strong," she said. "But never let anyone take your peace, your confidence, or your worth. The world tests you, not to break you, but to reveal who you really are." The hall erupted in applause, not for the fighter they once mocked, but for the girl who taught them that strength doesn't roar. Sometimes it simply stands still, unbroken. And when Maya walked out of that school for the last time, the scar on her wrist caught the sunlight, shining like a badge of every battle she had survived and every soul she had forgiven.